Okay, welcome to game 3 of my match against SSounder in the no terminals mix. I'm currently up 2-0, but I've played them before, and I think they've got a pretty good shot at coming back. So I've got to keep focused and figure out what's going on here. We have a lot of cantrips. I know this is no terminal mix. We have a lot of cantrips which do nice things and interact with each other in various ways. Populate again is going to be fine, I guess. Populate's going to be good. Peddler is good. Peddler's good with Sanctuary. You can gain a bunch of Sanctuaries. Alchemist is probably just going to be too slow here. I don't think you can get an Alchemist here. It's going to be too slow. Training is very good with Magpie. So I think the plan is to open Forager Magpie. And then try to gain free Magpies. And potentially slap Forager on those. If you have like a draw deck Magpie situation, you can do some Changeling Voodoo as well. Have to figure out exactly how that works when that comes up. I think you could do some Changeling stuff. Like you gain a Magpie, and if there's only one Magpie left in the deck, you can gain a Changeling instead. Yeah, it won't work when the Magpies are empty, but it will work other than that. So my last card's a copper, so I'm going to draw that. I have 3 again. I'll probably do the same thing they did, pick up a second Forager. As you want to get thin here. With training on Magpies, hitting 10 for Populate should be pretty easy, assuming we have similar numbers of Magpies. Like Poacher is just going to be bad because the Magpies are going to empty quickly. Sanctuary is going to be good. Sanctuary will let you get Peddlers. Upgrade will also be nice. Potentially you get an upgrade before Sanctuary because you can upgrade estates into Foragers. But gains are somewhat limited. You have buys with Sanctuary. So you can build fairly big here, and a lot of the key piles come fairly cheaply. They went with a third Forager. That feels a little bit much at this point in the game, but we'll see. If I'm not hitting 5, basically all I want to do is buy Magpies at this point. I'd obviously rather gain them for free, but they do hit 5, which is nice. We'll see what they elect to buy. I could believe Sanctuary or Upgrade here. Both seem good to me. You can also, if Training weren't the kingdom, you could upgrade Magpie into like a Treasury or something. But with Training, Magpie is just going to be a Treasury, basically. Treasury plus. So I'll just keep getting Magpies and hope to have a good turn eventually where I can hit 5 or 6. That seems unlikely given this starting hand. They don't look like they're going to hit 6 here either. If I draw Forager Copper, I can hit 4. I can also draw 2 coppers. Most likely I'm going to draw copper, and Forager is going to be on top of the deck. And then I'm just going to have 3 again and buy a silver. The 4th Forager feels... Oh, they Changelinged it. Okay. Okay, that worked out pretty great. So I can get 2 Peddlers now, or 1 Magpie. I think the 2 Peddlers are going to help me hit 6 faster. I'm going to do that. They don't help me draw the way the Magpies do, but yeah, I'm going to hit 6 here. So definitely going to put Training on Magpie this turn. Not guaranteed to hit 6, but it's fairly likely. In fact, it might be guaranteed. If the top card, if the Magpie reveals an estate, draws a Forager. If I have 2 Foragers in the estate at the very top, I won't, but then I'll probably hit it the next turn. They're going to be thin a little bit faster, but having Magpies, having a couple of extra coppers lying around is not the end of the world with Magpies. And then again, once you start populating, you've got Alchemists. The Poachers are going to be actively bad, I guess, but you can just upgrade the Poachers into things that you'd rather have. Similar with the Foragers, you can just trash the foragers to the foragers. Okay, this is going well. 8, so I can put training on Magpie, buy a peddler. Okay, I feel pretty solidly ahead now. Having gotten my training off first. They are, again, a little bit thinner. I did gain a couple magpies there. How many did I gain? I gained 1, and they bought 1 the previous turn. So we're pretty close to the magpie split. But once I have my next turn where I draw, 2 or 3 times, I'm going to hit 10 and populate. If I can do that this turn, I'm going to be solidly ahead. I assume they're going to try to go for training this turn. And put the training on Magpie. Oh, they only have 4, so they need to add money now. As them, I would have considered trashing a forager with the forager. Oh, they have peddlers though. That makes some sense. Just feels a little bit like if they trashed a forager with a forager, put training on Magpie, they still could have bought 2 peddlers. It feels like a little bit better use of the turn. We have a copper. We have a copper with 6. Okay, so my populate plans are a bit on hold. I do have a bunch of magpies down at the bottom of the deck here, but the game is rapidly ending. Piles are very, very low, even to the point where I'm considering buying a duchy now and like 2 peddlers. A sanctuary also seems to be good, and like a gold is also good. I can draw it. I still have a lot of draw with magpies to hit coppers, and that'll give me a little bit more payload. I think I'm going to do gold double peddler, and note that the game is going to end very quickly. I still have a lot more payload than they do. Due to the training. But in theory, they added a bunch of peddlers last turn, so they can train. They won't have as many buys this turn. They're running out of cards to buy. To trash with forager for the buy, I think. But probably they'll get something like peddler and some good cards this turn. They can't really touch the forager pile. Thinking about it, scratching my head and thinking about it, changeling. When I gain a card costing 3 or more, if I buy populate, that gains me 7 changelings. So if I get to 16 money this turn and 3 buys, I can just end the game this turn. I don't think they can get to 10 money with their deck. Well, they would need to get to 16 again to do that, but like it's very close. Like populate can end the game almost immediately, so that's something that we need to be very careful about. I have 5 magpies and 4 or 5 peddlers, so that's 9 or 10 money with the gold, a couple of coppers. I think I can get to 16 if I can draw deck. Potion to me makes no sense. I think you want to be populating, and like they're already almost drawing deck anyways. So the alchemist feels a little bit awkward to get, and you've got just another treasure in play. Maybe if they just needed a 4 cost and they'll upgrade that into treasury or something, or sanctuary next turn. How many treasures are in my discard pile? I had 2 coppers out there. I think I have 2, and I think I have 2 coppers and a gold in there. And I think that is, I have a silver, so I have a silver down here. So I'll play the peddler first and see what happens. 6 money. So they can put training on Magpie now. And I'm going to look to win the game this turn. Okay, peddler on top. Okay. So I have how much money? Okay, so populate now only gains me 6 changelings because they emptied the peddlers, which is fine. So if I trash 2 coppers, I've got 11 Got 16 money. So I can populate once. Populate and duchy, which feels weird, but I think I need to score. Do I want all of the things? So I do want an alchemist. I do want a treasury. I do want a sanctuary. I think I want an upgrade. I don't think I want a... I think maybe I don't want to take any changelings because they can do the same thing that I was saying to do here. So I will just take them all regularly and then buy a duchy. And then hopefully draw a deck next turn. I added, how many stop cards? I added the duchy and the forger. Both those are stop cards. Nothing else is a stop card. The alchemist nets draw. The raise at least can trash itself and cycle. Or I could trash forger or something. But it's very close to pile territory. The populate gains you again six changelings. So if you get to 19 money, you could pile, and I added more than enough money that turn. With extra forager, sanctuary, poacher I probably won't play, but I can upgrade the poacher into changeling basically. Or upgrade the raise into a changeling, whatever I can play to upgrade, I can upgrade. The forger pile is also very low. So that's another potential pile out source. 12 and 4 buys is actually pretty easy to get to that forger pile. So maybe that's more relevant now than the changeling pile. That they've got to watch out for me piling because I have enough buys now and gains with upgrade raise, for example. I've got to buy with sanctuary 3 forgers. So they probably need to score here quite a bit. The other problem they have is this hand, I think, has 3 foragers in it. So what exactly they're doing with those 3 foragers here is a little bit tricky to figure out. Probably they need to start trashing foragers with them. I also think they have no coppers left. They don't really have good trashing food left. They can play their magpies, play their treasury, and then trash forager to forager and play a forager, and they've got 13 and 3 buys. And they cannot, they absolutely can't populate. That's going to be ending it for me pretty easily. But again, they can just province sanctuary, province treasury, something like that. Doesn't seem unreasonable. They take a green lead. But they had a silver in hand that they trashed. So they've got 17 and 3 buys. So they can double province, which seems reasonable. They probably can't do that next turn. They certainly can't, because every card they play gain them, except for the upgrade, gains them money. So they don't have things left to forge, but double province gets them enough of a point lead that they're not worried about me immediately piling on forgers. It still seems at least possible for me to do so. It's just the line does not seem easy to come up with. I'm basically going to lead on playing all my magpies, even though I don't have a lot of treasures. Okay, well, I'll trash the raise now to find alchemist. That was a good draw. I'm going to trash this copper now, and so I can play the poacher. Okay. So this did not quite go the way I wanted it to this turn. They played their last turn quite well. I need to trash a forager now. and get double provinces myself. And hopefully my deck was not able to draw. I didn't draw. I don't have any treasures left, so the magpies aren't drawing. Their deck is a little bit thinner now than mine, I believe. Their magpies are... Oh, wow, their magpie did draw. They had a copper left? Did they buy a copper last turn? Did not even notice that. Wow, they bought a copper and hit it with a magpie. Maybe it's 50-50. It's less than 50-50. You've got 17 cards in the deck. Whenever they play a given magpie, if they're not already looking at it, then in general, it's, you know, they've got enough overdraw, I guess. Their stop cards are 2 foragers and a province at this point, and the upgrade if they want to or don't play it. I thought I had fewer stop cards, but I managed to find them early. I guess I didn't find... I happened to find the copper with the peddler instead of a magpie. And I had that duchy, which was really annoying. They've got the 2 provinces, 2 foragers, copper upgrade. Bottom card unless in the deck must be a magpie here, unless they're thinking about the upgrade play. The problem with this kingdom is if I can't get going and get a turn off, they're going to be able to pile foragers fairly easily, I think. It's possible that they can... No, it doesn't seem possible that they can do that here yet. So I wonder if the 3 forager line just really paid off for them. I didn't draw great last turn, but I think their deck is thin enough, fast enough that the extra forager got them into a good position. Maybe the turn where I bought the gold, that was... maybe I should have just on that turn... Which turn is that? Turn 9. Turn 9 I populated. Turn 10 I bought... What did I do in turn 10? Was 2 provinces. Turn 9 was populate. Duchy. Yeah, maybe instead of that duchy it should have been just another treasury or something. So they've got a magpie. Ah, do they have a pile out here with that changeling? Got a magpie. They've got a forager. They can forage a copper. They can't play their other forager, so they've got 3 gains total. Unless they're going to trash the... yeah, so province is a nice gain because I can't double province now, obviously. Are they going to gain a copy of treasury? Treasury makes the most sense. Again, they've still got 2 foragers, 4 green cards. So 2 foragers and 4 green cards. So upgrade. Kill this copper, I guess. It's like the very, very, very slow draw deck. Okay. I am considering all options here. So if I trash the forager, I get to 13. So the consideration I'm making, the bottom deck of mine has an alchemist in there, has a province. Considering populating again, like going duchy populate. And instead of the Forger taking a Changeling. With the idea that I've got to, if I get, say I get double Duchy here, I'm at 21, they can just double Province. So I basically need to upgrade the Poacher into Duchy next turn and Province. And maybe they can't double Province reliably. Maybe I just buy Province Duchy and say your deck is not good enough to double Province. You've got too many stop cards. And you're none of your, you're not going to be able to play all your cantrips. Okay, I'm going to make that statement. I don't necessarily believe it, but I don't know. I don't see a great line. If I'd found the Alchemist, I could have actually drawn deck there and had 5 more money, which would have meant I could have done Province Populate, which would have been cool. So they also have an upgrade. They have to decide when they want to play, if they want to play it. Yeah, so if the Alchemist was, assuming I draw the cards in the order, Province, Gold, Poacher, Magpie, whatever, if they were slightly shuffled, the Alchemist was in front and the Gold was in the bottom-ish, say, I could have actually drawn deck and had 5 more money. And the Alchemist top decked still. I don't know what I would have done then. I might have done Province Populate. I might have done like double Duchy Populate. I might have had 21. I would have 18 money. I probably would have done Province Populate. I thought I could get to Province Populate sooner, I guess, which is weird because I hit Populate, you know, on turn 9. Yeah, like the Populate just didn't do that much for me. They had everything they needed at that point. Wow, that seems risky. Lowering the Forgers like that. And the Changelings. Did I trash like all my Forgers though? Maybe I trashed all my Forgers and have lost all my plus buy. Oh, Sanctuaries plus buy, which is nice. Come on, something. Okay, so I can forge this upgrade into money and then just buy 3 Forgers. I could also populate that way, but that ends the game. The game has ended. Okay. So that match went pretty well for me. I think they put pretty well. They had they built a good deck there, and my deck I think was slightly more reliable, but that could not be. That may be wrong. Maybe I had good draws there in that last game. But thanks to SSounder for the games, and please leave a comment if you have any suggestions or ideas. Have a good night, everyone.